What's up mga kachingo? This is Ariel Tagnaon Gulili and welcome to our vlog. And for today's video, we will talk about the means of technology, its contribution to different fields in our society such as in medicine, education, transportation, and most importantly in communication. And other than that, we will talk about its importance and rules in our lives. And right now, I would like to call my guest co-host, Mr. JP Butigan. So guys, this is my co-host for today's video, Mr. JP Butigan. So as far as I know, Mr. Butigan, you're a working student. So how does technology help you as a working student?
All right, that's a really good question. Actually, being a working student, it's a big help for me using technology. As what I observe, I'm working at home. I can manage my own time. I can do multitasking work, doing my work, and at the same time, I do my assignments and research.
Well, I agree with that because I'm also a working student, as you know. So guys, at this moment of time, we will try to have an interview with the random students and teacher here in our institution.
All right, we will have an interview with one of our novelist teacher here in Croatia, and she is Miss Joyanne Dagmil. Hello, all right, Miss Dagmil. I have a question to you. It is okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And how does the technology improves your teaching techniques?
Okay. So, good afternoon. First, let's define the word technology, okay? So, technology is an engineering kind of work wherein it solves our problem. So, that's why using our phones, like this one, it helps us what? To communicate, okay, or to research for an assignment or homework. So, it helps us human being to be able to do our things or our task effectively. So now, as a teacher, so my job is kind of hectic and very critical when it comes to transferring knowledge and giving feedbacks and comments to the work of my students. So for me to be able to do that, I have my laptop. So therein, I put all my records. I solve grades for my students, and also it helps me to visualize on my lesson plans, so using my laptops. Now, when it comes to teaching scenario, all right, so I'm using technology, okay, for students who does have what we call impairment. So we do have impairment, right? So most of the students does have impairment like auditory. So most likely auditory students or impaired auditory students cannot catch up the lessons very clearly just by mere talking of the teacher. So what they need to do, they need or we need visualization or we need pictures. All right, so that's why we can use projectors, okay? We can use speakers, okay, to enhance, okay, the imagination of the students for them to be able to get interested of the lesson itself. So we're using technology. So everything that we're using in the classroom is technology. Ball pen is technology, right? Okay, your own zipper on your pants is technology. So therefore, technology help us human being to solve problems or to do tasks effectively. So for me, okay, that's how I used technology to have a better kind of teaching or activity.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, and this is my final question, ma'am. And do you agree that technology can replace the teachers?
Okay. So first come first. All right. So I'm quite not knowledgeable enough, but I know the fact about what we call artificial intelligence. So that's what they're talking about. So they say that in the near future, okay, no need for teachers. Why? Because technology can have it all. So way back when I was teaching in online, I've been an online English teacher. So one of our topics is about artificial intelligence or artificial intelligences. So one of my students, okay, he is what we call in our government, he is called a congressman, okay, in our government here in the Philippines. So he is based in Korea. So he said that, okay, after 5 years to 10 years, okay, no need for online English teachers. Why? Because they do have or they develop already the what we call artificial intelligence. So Mr. Google can do that, right? So and a lot more. But my question is, who made the technology? Human being. Okay, technology has its limitations, right? But our brain, does it have a limitation? No. Okay, we can think beyond beyond the horizon, beyond every ideas that we come out. So, my charge for that, or my say for that is no. Nobody can replace a teacher. Okay? The heart of the teacher is very, very big. Does the technology have a heart? No. So, then let's go back to the basic. Who made the technology? It's human being. It's us. So, we are highest. Alright? So, therefore, nobody can replace a teacher.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful answer, and that's really overwhelming. And in today's society, especially to those future teachers like us, it's a really big impact to us. And you share your knowledge to your students and also to your co-teachers. And thank you so much for your time today. All right, here we go again. We will have another interview here in Croatia with one of our novelist teacher. Let's welcome Miss Janice Palma. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, that's great. And as a teacher, how really important or improve your productivity in teaching using technology?
Well, using technology, it improves my teaching through video presentation, and it elaborates my topic, especially doon sa mga planets natin, 'di ba? We have 8 planets, and kaya hindi naman natin pwedeng gamitin na lang, i-drawing na lang natin, because parang hindi na siya, parang hindi na iniisip ng mga students, parang wala lang, basta picture. Pero pag nakita na nila through video, through presentation, na may ganyan pala yung mga planets, parang napipicture out nila doon sa mind nila, ay, ganito pala yung planeta, ganito pala yung Earth, ganito pala yung Mars. And also, sun. You cannot draw a sun using chalk. Why? Because sun has its color, like we have yellow, red, the combination of yellow and red. And the Earth, we have the blue, green, and white. No, well, you can use chalk naman, pero you have to buy many chalks for colors, but using technology, yun bang nabibigay mo yung totoong nangyayari sa loob ng paaralan. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. All right, here we go again. We will conduct another interview from Mr. Mac Gerald Macala. All right, sir, being an IT expert or IT professional, do you agree that technology could replace teachers in the near future?
Well, in my own perspective, technology could really replace somehow the teachers in the near future. Why? Because nowadays, we do have a tons of information that is already provided in the internet. Like in Google, we can just search a tons of information in just a fraction of a second by just clicking your mouse and then putting a specific question in Google, and then that's it. And that's how the information comes up. And then another thing is, nowadays we do have e-learning system wherein there's a classroom, and then there's students, and they are listening to their virtual teachers, right? And then another thing, we do have online courses in the internet, like free online courses in YouTube, right? We consider YouTube as not just an entertainment, but also one of the main resources that could provide a tons of information in accordance to your specific needs or in your specific research. And it could be free, and there are some online courses also available online. We do have lynda.com, Udemy, and Skillshare. It depends on you on what specific skills that you want to pursue or to take. It depends on you. So as for for me, on my part, it's really possible that in the near future, technology could replace the teachers, the human teachers. Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Earlier, we have asked different questions from different teachers, and right now we will have the opinions of different students here in Croatia. And we have Miss Angel. All right, Miss Angel,
Yes, sir.
what is the contribution of technology being a student?
Okay, for me as a student, as we are moving through the 21st century, so the technology is becoming more and more predominant in every field of life. As we can see, textbooks are slowly replaced by tablets and mobiles. So whatever we want to search about, we can do it on our smartphones and tablets instead of searching it through the textbook for a single thing. So the way technology has transformed our lives is impressive. So we can do anything in just a few seconds. So as a student, technology has given me the opportunity or the whole world in my hands. So that's it.
All right, thank you so much for your wonderful opinion. And right now, I will ask another student, Miss April Gumanit. Miss April, how is it importance or the rule of technology being a student?
So technology helps me a lot in many ways. So through the use of technology, it helps me in and out of the classroom, which enhances my learning. So like for example, in the classroom, when the teacher uses laptops and projectors, I can easily understand what he is discussing all about. So like for example, through the use of computers and projectors, the teachers uses videos, slides, and images, examples, which clarify all the doubts that I have in my mind. And then also through the use of technology, which is the mobile phones, I can easily access information, which is just a click, and then right away the information will right away it will give me an information. And then also as a student, I use printers, which helps me a lot in my paperworks or in my projects. I presented it presentable to my teacher because through the help of printers. And then I can also use a lot of what we call art through the use of computer, and then it will come out through the use of printers.
All right, thank you so much for your wonderful opinion. And here we go again. We will ask another student. Can I have your name, ma'am?
I'm Maribel Di Tablo.
All right, Miss Maribel, how are you doing today? All right. Oh, you're great. Okay, thank you. And I'll ask, what is technology, in your own opinion?
For me, technology is the innovation and invention of mankind. It is using science, our minds to improve our living habits and lifestyle. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. In this part of this video, we will show you how to create a simple presentation using PowerPoint.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
I've been working with a local animal rescue, and I think a PowerPoint presentation is just what we need to showcase some information about their adoptable pets. But how do we get from this to a presentation that looks like this? The key is understanding how slides, layouts, and placeholders work. Let's take a look at placeholders first. When you start with a new slide, it'll usually contain one or more placeholders. Placeholders can contain text, pictures, charts, and all kinds of different objects. To find out what you can do with a placeholder, just hover over the icons here, or simply click and start typing to add text. The arrangement of these placeholders is controlled by the slide layout. This layout happens to include one placeholder for the title and two more for content. You can choose your layout when you first insert a slide, or you can change it later depending on the type of content you're working with. To insert a new slide, look to the New Slide command on the Home tab. You can use the top half to add a slide in the same layout as the one that's currently selected, or use the bottom half to open the menu, and choose the exact layout you want. You can even insert a blank slide and add your own text boxes and objects later. Changing the current layout is just as easy. All you have to do is click the Layout command and make a new selection from the menu. This time we're going to choose the section header layout. At this point, instead of inserting more placeholder slides, I'd like to try copying and pasting some of the slides I've already created. This can really save you time when the slides you need are so similar to the ones you already have. Just select the slide you want to copy, then click the Copy command on the Home tab, or press Ctrl-C on your keyboard. Next, click in between or below the slide where you want the copy to appear, then go back to the ribbon and click Paste. Alternatively, you could press Ctrl-V on your keyboard. And you can paste as many copies as you need. Now that I have these copies to use as a sort of template, I no longer need those two content slides that we started with. So I'm going to delete each slide by selecting it, and then pressing Backspace or Delete on my keyboard. I'm also going to move this section header so it appears a little later in the presentation. To do this, click and hold the thumbnail, then just drag and drop it into place. Now we're going to take a closer look at the slide itself, along with some ways that you can customize it. The important thing to remember is that nothing is set in stone here. You can always adjust your layout and change the look of your slides any way you want. To delete a placeholder, for example, all you have to do is select it, then press Backspace or Delete on your keyboard. Placeholders can also be moved using the drag and drop method, and resized using any of the sizing handles here. And let's just add some text here before we continue. Of course, if you need to add an additional text box to your slide, there's a way to do that too. This can come in handy when you're working with a blank slide or with a presentation that's already been highly customized. Just go to the Insert tab, select the Text Box command. Now you can click and drag to add a text box anywhere you want. You'll want to be careful not to change too much though, especially depending on your level of design experience. If you stray too far from the built-in layouts, it can be difficult to get your presentation looking consistent. Sometimes it may be better to try a different slide layout instead. In other words, one that already has the content arranged the way you want. Or you could choose a different theme using the options on the Design tab. Here's how they work. All you have to do is hover over the thumbnails for a preview. As you can see, each theme uses a slightly different layout, so you can easily try out different designs and change the look of your slides without moving or deleting any placeholders. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, that looks really good. There are still a couple more features on the Design tab that'll let you customize your slides. For example, over here on the right, you can change or format your current slide background. You can also adjust the size and dimensions of your presentation if you're not using a widescreen monitor. Okay, now you know how to work with slides, placeholders, and layouts, including a few simple tricks for changing your presentation's design.
Working with text in PowerPoint is easy. It's similar to working in a word processing program like Microsoft Word, so the experience should be pretty familiar to you. All you have to do is insert a text box or click an existing placeholder, and your cursor will appear inside. Now you can type anything you want. You can use the spacebar on your keyboard to add spaces, and if you want to start a new line, just press Enter. If you make a mistake like I did, that's okay. You can press Backspace or Delete to fix it. You can also use your keyboard's arrow keys to move the insertion point left, right, up, or down. This is useful if you only need to move a few spaces or lines at a time, but you can also jump over entire words at a time. Hold the Control key and press the left or right arrow keys to jump over one word at a time. There may come a time when you need to work with text in your presentation, maybe to copy and paste it or to move it to a different location. To do that, you need to know how to select text first. Just click and drag your mouse over the text, then let go. See how it's highlighted gray? That means the text is selected. To select all of the text on an entire slide, go to the Select command on the Home tab and choose Select All. Pressing the Control key and A key on your keyboard at the same time will also select all the text. Now that we know how to select text, let's try copy and paste. Just click the Copy command on the ribbon, choose where you want the text to go, then click Paste. You can also get to these commands by right-clicking on the slide. For example, to cut and paste, start by selecting your text, then right-click, and choose Cut. The original text will disappear, and now we can paste it anywhere we want by right-clicking again. If you want to move a selection of text from one place to another, you can use the drag and drop method. First, select the text you want to move. Now click and drag where you want it to go. If you make a mistake or change your mind, you can use the Undo button on the toolbar to undo the last action. To the right is the Redo button. This allows you to reverse the last undo. Next, I'd like to take a look at formatting options like font color, size, and alignment, all of which can have a big effect on your presentation. To format text in PowerPoint, you can select just the text you want, or you can select an entire text box and format everything inside at once. You might want to start with the options in the font group, where you'll find lots of different features that you can play around with. In this example, I'm going to choose a different font color, a different font, and a slightly bigger size. I'm also going to format the text in italics. See what a difference all these changes can make? If you want to change the placement or alignment of your text, take a look at the commands in the paragraph group. Your options include left, center, right, and justified, which can be used to align paragraphs. I think centered looks best. Also in this group, you can change the vertical alignment, the text direction, or add or remove bullets from your text box. These are all great ways to customize your text, so your slide looks exactly the way you want. Now you know the basics, including cut, copy, and paste, undo and redo, and even some formatting techniques. That should be everything you need to know to work with text in PowerPoint.
Today's conclusion, when technology is integrated into lessons, students are expected to be more interested. For instance, delivering teaching through online learning, it improves knowledge retention, which encourage active participation in the classroom, which also very important factor for increased knowledge retention. It also encourages collaboration and encourages individual learning. In contrary, technology could be a major source of distractions. It also creates enough room for teaching and will also increase the rate of cyberbullying.
This is the end of our vlog, and I'm JP.
And I'm April.
Thank you for watching. See you again next time.